Hi, and welcome to another video from Arrows into Free. So, uh, in this video, I want to talk about teamwork in Final Fantasy XIV in dungeons and raids, and basically anything else that involves a group of players against NPCs. So, there are a few rules that everyone should know about, and yes, after doing a few dungeons to level my Dark Knight the other day, I can conclude that not everyone knows this, even in level 40 plus dungeons that we were doing at the time. Yeah, that's the thing. Sorry to say. So yeah, let's go for the rules straight off the bat. It's not very hard rules, and it's only three of them that literally everyone should know. So, rule number one: don't stand behind the tank. Pretty easy. Yeah. And rule number two: this goes out for the healers. Your primary task is to heal the tank. If he dies, the party dies. Simple as that. Secondary, you heal the DPS. And somewhat of a controversial thing here, but it's definitely a thing in Final Fantasy. So the third thing the healers need to do is actual DPS. Yes, that's a thing. And I can promise you I was just as surprised when I saw saw my first video about healers doing DPS. I was like, nah, that can't be right. But yeah, it is. And as Asmongold said, it even were a pretty big deal in World of Warcraft that I used to play. So, rule number three. And there is a small caveat on this too. The tank is the one that is primarily supposed to pull. But sometimes if DPS or healer is in front of the tank, they can pull due to their distance to the enemies. As long as whoever pulls can round the enemies up near the tank, you should be good to go. Yeah, again, there is a small caveat to this. I personally don't mind if a DPS or a healer runs ahead and accidentally pulls something and gives it to me. I don't mind that at all. As long as they don't come with half the dungeon in tow and expecting me to survive it. But not everyone is like me. There is those few cranky tanks that we all wish we didn't ever see, that will scold people for polling. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about them, except I'm not one of them. So yeah, and well, hell, even I can forget shit. If I run into a dungeon and ask someone to show the way because I forgot how the dungeon layout is, yeah, will more or less expect someone to actually accidentally pull something and come running back toward me. I don't mind. It happens as long as you don't try to kill it on your own and dying in the process and all that. That just sucks. So, in a situation where we hunt trash, this is also the only time the healer should be close to the tank. Because, quite frankly, some trash, or group of trash, I should say, can literally do more damage than a boss. And it can actually kill the tank in a matter of seconds. So it's very important that the healer stays close to the tank at that point. So, yeah, the ideal formation for grabbing trash is as following. Tank first, grab the aggro from the enemies, then healers to make sure they stay alive while the DPS catch up and starts attacking. Ranged DPS have no problem lagging behind a bit. Fought yeah, never mind that. But on the other hand, melee DPS, well, they need to play catch up, basically. That means you, tanks out there, need also to round up every enemy and keep them still once you're done pulling. And what I mean with that is, let's say you decide to pull a bunch of enemies. Let's say you're playing a warrior with lots of self-healing and you can handle wall-to-wall pulls. To make it easier both for the healer and the tank, I mean DPS, pulled all of them into a corner. So, for example, any ranged enemies needs to get in close to you. So run around the corner, run into a room or something like that. So they need to get close to you. That way, it will make it a lot easier for the DPS to do AoE damage. So yeah, that's straight to you tanks out there. Make it easy for the rest of the party, basically. Now to bosses. In a perfect world, this should be the party's locations in linear fashion. Line fashion? Linear fashion? Yeah, linear fashion. English is hard sometimes. So basically, think of this in a line. So first comes the tank, grabs the boss, and then comes the DPS, and then comes the healer. Pretty easy. So, and the reason I personally, I should say, I'm not saying every tank wants this, but I definitely do, is so I have a broad overview of what's actually happening in front of me. Let's say I'm fighting the boss there and I see the healer and DPS in front of me, and oh, here comes some ads. And well, some ads you just fart in their direction and they die. Not a problem for the DPS. But some trash can kill a DPS or a healer. In that case, I wouldn't say it falls directly on the tank, because this is the only time a DPS or a healer is allowed to run toward the tank, and basically it falls to him then to use some skill that will grab aggro of those ads, or if he finds it necessary, he can also use a ranged skill. I know I have one with my Dark Knight. I just click on the hostile and pull it to me. I can't remember what that skill is called, but yeah, I can use it at least. Because in the heated battle, everything can happen. And trust me, everything do happen. Anyhow, we all know that when the fighting starts and the mechanics starts to happen, everyone will literally be everywhere. But in this case, it's very important to remember rule number one: don't stand in front of the boss, because that's where the tank is. I know some DPS is very dependable on directional, but I have never heard of a DPS that actually does more DPS in front, but more like on the back or the sides. And that's okay. You can stand there. I will still see you. And help you if needed. Right. Now to the healer. So, this is a bit controversial for me, because I have not played a healer in Final Fantasy. I have, however, in World of Warcraft. So, yeah, I might have some insight, but yeah, I should know well, I do. I should. I do know it's essential for the healer to do DPS when time allows. So, well, first of all, I will not tell you how to play your healer, but I will tell you this. Keeping people alive is your primary. You're a healer after all. And if you feel comfy to deal some DPS between heals, then please do so. It will be required in high-end raiding. So get it into your muscle memory now, when it's actually easy. Well, basically now when dungeons are easy. And well, everyone knows that anything that goes into your muscle memory will basically start happening in an automatic way, which is very good in my opinion. Anyhow, this last thing I'm saying this as a tank. The only thing I consider a failure is if the tank dies while having his mitigationers going. in a normal sized pole. And you might ask, oh, what's a normal sized pole for you? A normal sized pole is whatever you uh, run across. So let's say you run in this dungeon, you find a group of mobs, and you pull them. And only that group of mobs. It can be two, it could be four, it could be six. It depends on how strong they are. But if you only pull that group of mobs and you still die with your mitigation up, then I will ask the healer what the hell they are doing. Because then they are doing something wrong, that's for sure. And I would even go as far to say, and do consider I'm playing tank as a Dark Knight. It is from, I don't know what people have got that from, but people say it's the worst tank in the game. I love it. I have nothing against Dark Knight tanks. It's, well, in my opinion, it's a very good tank. Does a lot of damage. Doesn't have much self healing, granted, but holy crap, it does a lot of damage. Mm. Uh, and now, not everything is your fault. I do not wish for you to think that's what I mean. The tank can do a lot of wrongs that causes him slash her to die. That is beyond your saving grace. And I will be the first one to apologize when I causes a wipe. But yeah, I know this is somewhat a cliche because, well, I'm still learning, but I feel I got a good grasp of my character, and it's very rare that I die due to a large pole. Because well, most of the time I know how much I can pull and how much damage I will take. And I personally usually start a bit easy, like to gauge the healer, because the healer has a very, very important role in how much I can pull. Uh, it could be an experienced healer, inexperienced healer, or a very experienced healer who can handle. Well, the largest pull I ever done is like halfway uh, from one wall to the next, and that's basically what the Dark Knight can handle most of the time, depending on the enemies. But usually I keep an eye on my HP. If that actually starts to go like halfway down and pops up again halfway down, then I stop pulling because then I notice, okay, the healer is literally working overtime at this point. Uh, now, DPS. So, if you are a ranged DPS, then use it to your advantage. Not like the bard that I played with yesterday, who literally was standing on my ass as we fought a boss. And I'm not even sure if he did do his rotation correctly. I definitely didn't hear any board music. And yes, I do have a board myself. And at level 40, Yeah, that should be a level 40 dungeon. 40 plus even. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the dragon dungeon you do up north. Can't remember the name of it, so sorry. But yeah, I even asked him if I could talk to him after we were done with the last boss, but I don't think he wanted to because he jumped out straight off the bat after the dungeon was done. So yeah, his loss. Anyhow, uh, so to recap, don't stand behind the tank. Uh, primary heal, secondary DPS when time allows. And I'm feeling like such a bastard saying this, but yeah, this is a beginner's guide, so learn your rotation. As another famous streamer said, there are practicing dummies literally everywhere on the map, and even in the gardens of some people's houses that you can train on. Do it. I promise you, you will improve. Uh, but most important of all, ask for help. I don't know how much help I received in this game, and the Final Fantasy 14 community is the friendliest community I have ever seen in any game I played, and that's actually true. I don't think there is a more friendly and wholesome community in any game anywhere. Of course, I haven't played every game, but I have a hard time believing that anyone actually can be more friendly than the Final Fantasy community. Uh, and they are more than willing to help you, especially if you say these simple words right at the beginning of the dungeon you're about to join. Hi all, with an exclamation mark. This is my first time in this dungeon. Be honest about it. That's all I can say. And you will receive all the help you will. If they don't say anything at the boss, then there is probably no mechanics at the boss that you can't avoid. What we call a tank and spank boss is basically it. Like you shoot your arrows or stab with your stabby things, and you avoid the big yellow circles on the ground. There are bosses like that, quite a few of them actually. If there is anything else you need to know, they will explain it to you. And I can speak for myself. If someone says those words in the chat right at the beginning of a dungeon or a raid, I will do my utmost to help you. Just as all the help I got from all those that helped me in the beginning when I was doing my first dungeons with mechanics, and later on doing raids with even more mechanics. And it didn't matter how many times we died, we still failed together, and had a lot of fun doing so. This is definitely not World of Warcraft where the entire group disbands after a few wipes. Here we try and we try again. And yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you have any questions, please write in the comment section below. And I will definitely try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will ask friends if they can answer your question. And also special thanks to Abstract for helping me with this script here. And basically making sure I worded everything correctly so I don't step on anyone's toes, because quite frankly I've done it more than once and I hate every time I do. Oh yeah, and please like if you like this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my content. Until next time, stay safe out there.